I would not just override them without getting to the facts and finding out why they denied this. There's a reason. You just aren't seeing it. You're not hearing it. I don't know why, but I can guess because I was at all the meetings. The fire info, like they were talking about, yeah, he's going to close one down in South and he's going to bring it out there. There's 3 strikes against these guys. There's traffic study was done on 4th of July. Come on, somebody's pulling the wool over your eyes. Mr. Listener's a great guy. I got nothing against him. I have nothing negative to say against him. But this project, being on Red Rock Road, with it being our only way in and only way out, as a personal first responder, that's a bad idea. Somebody's going to get hurt. And you guys, now it's on record. Somebody's going to get a hold of social media, and I'm not making a threat, but I'm saying that somebody may possibly come after you guys because you're not looking at the safety aspects of this project. Thank you for your time.
At least his nonpartisan or non-biased assessment of Red Rock. He came out, he drove the area, he looked at what we have, he looked at the fuels, he's seen what the plan is for the density. Basically what he told us is we are replicating Paradise and Coffee Park with this plan. So I don't know if the county commissioners in the county want to take the responsibility for the potential loss like Coffee Park had of 5,500 homes and 80 some odd people that died in Paradise, but that's what we have. We have one way in and one way out. We're not going to change that. Our last fire 2 years ago, we were cut off completely north and south. All residents were stuck there. Add 5,000 more residents, you do the math.
Fill you in on how it happened. You see, after talking to a lot of departments, I went to regional planning, and regional planning referred it to the executive offices. That was in April of 2005. I went to the sheriff's office. They said, see the supervisor. I called Don Kanabe's office. I talked to some asshole named George. He, after a number of conversations, he sent me to county council office, and I had a number of discussions with county council over 6 weeks. At the end of that, county council told me that the county was going to come up with regulations to allow for dispensaries and asked me if Don Kanabe's office had contacted me yet. And I indicated they did not. So I contacted George at Don Kanabe's office. And George said, well, we're already dealing with Don. I said, who is Don? And he said, Don Duncan from the Hacienda Heights. I go, who's Don Duncan? He said, well, aren't you with Dave and Don Duncan? I go, I'm with Dave, but I'm not with Don Duncan. I don't know who those people are. So Don Duncan came out of nowhere and started dealing with Don Kanabe's office, had been dealing with Don Kanabe's office. Well, after Don Kanabe's office sent me to county council and deal with county council. I got it taken care of with county council. They were ready to do it. I got it taken care of with Don Kanabe's office, but then Don Duncan came in and took it over. On May 26, 2005, Rick Velasquez had an agreement with Don Duncan, Roland Nam, and David Nam for the Hacienda Heights store. On May 27th, the next day, he made the same deal with me.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I want my dispensary.
Next speaker, please.
Honorable Board of Super.
Ms. Snedeker.
Thank you. Non-person, non-resident, unenfranchised natural woman. You don't get to usurp the state legislature. You do it all the time. But when it comes to taxes, you don't get to do that. You don't get to create your own, pay attention, Mr. Hartong. Yeah, some respect. You're not the governing body. The state is the governing body. You do not have the authority to appoint yourselves the governing body, and we're pretending this ordinance is an emergency. That's what as if it were means on the people. It's excessive taxation. You represent men and women of the county. not corporations, unless you are in fact acting as a corporation, which I believe you are. So if you're acting as a corporation, then I guess it's fine. Problem is, it doesn't apply to men and women. And I'm so happy too, because I'm going to be turning in all my receipts and getting all of my taxes back on fuel, because native-born citizens aren't required to pay the tax. Bet you didn't know that. So at least I get to put a little chink in this, because you don't have authority to do what you're doing. And you all vote for this like you're saving us all of this money. You're not. Not saving anybody any money. You overstep your authority at every place. Oh yeah, and aren't you supposed to be, well, I guess this is part of my quality of life that you so like to throw around. You step overboard, you keep doing it, you know you don't have absolute immunity. You do know that all, don't you? Not even judges have absolute immunity. So please, you should give the public consideration rather than yourselves. Thank you, Mr. Hartong, for your attention.
We have one way in and one way out. We're not going to change that. We have one way in and one way out. Watch that.